Hello everyone. It is Jackie with Pocket of Preschool, and I am so excited to see you guys tonight. Tonight we are going to talk all about fun and engaging ways to make and build letters so our kiddos can learn letters in a fun, hands-on, developmentally appropriate way in our classrooms and learn through play, right? Because we know that play, it's just the way to go, right? Like, the more hands-on, the more fun, and the more engaging we can make it, the more that's going to soak in those little brains, and the more connections they're going to make, and the more they'll retain, and the quicker they'll, learn all the letters and the sounds and all the things. So, real quick, let me tell you what's at the top of this post. So, at the top of this post, you are going to see a link to a free, to a blog post that has all of these ideas. I'll share more tonight than that was on the blog post, but there's a ton over there. There's also a fun letter card freebie for you guys I have, so make sure you guys go download that after this post. And what else? Oh, links to my TBT store, and then links to the Facebook group, and my past Facebook Lives. It's all organized on my blog now, so everything is so much easier to find. So yeah, so we are going to kind of jump right in. So one, when can you do letter activities? And when do you do them? Do you do them with letter of the week? I kind of want to know what you guys do in your classroom. So tell me in the comments when you guys do them, or if there's a special time of day, or if you do letter of the week or you don't do letter of the week. Tell me all the things in the comments. So I actually personally don't believe in a letter of the week approach, because research tells us that it's just, kiddos don't make those connections to all these random things we're doing about a letter. They don't make the connection that that's why we're doing it. And it's not meaningful to them. So rather than doing letter of the week, and I have actually 3 blog posts or 3 Facebook Lives about how you can switch from doing letter of the week to just kind of doing just incorporating literacy and letters into everything up on the Facebook Live list. So watch those if you want to switch and stop doing letter of the week. But these are fun things you can do really anytime. So a lot of these activities you can do for arrival centers, you can do for small group, you can do for centers, you can put them in your centers, you can do them in art, you can do them for STEM. There's so many ways you can sneak in letter making. You can do them with name activities. A lot of these you can switch and use this idea and change it into a name activity rather than just the letter. So basically you just do them every day, all day, and you can do them all during fine motor journals too. So I'm going to tell you kind of how you can sprinkle them in all the time, every day, and that way they're always learning about letters. And I also want to say, anytime you talk about the letter, you also want to say the sound that letter makes. So, and don't add that little itty bitty extra sound. So instead of saying T, says ta, that would be T-A. We want to leave that extra sound off. So C, T, T. So make sure when you're saying those sounds, and there's a whole bunch of YouTube videos if you want to listen to someone say all the letters in the alphabet, all the sounds. So hop over to YouTube. I'm sure you just can do a search and find them. But make sure when we're saying these letter sounds that we're just saying that sound and we're not adding that extra other letter to it, right? A, B, B, not B. That would be B-A. So just a little thought I throw in there before we jump into all the things. So before I start, I love doing letters for table time and arrival because one, it gets the kids started learning right when they walk in the door. It gets them engaged, and my drop off, the parents would drop them off in the room. I know that's a little bit different now with COVID, but that way they see that they are learning letters through play. So I'm kind of teaching parents too at the same time that this is how we're learning letters in our classroom. So my favorite way to learn about letters is using letter mats, which this is the freebie, so I'll kind of show you this one. So it's just a blank letter mat, and these you can print on colored paper. So that way you're not, using tons and tons of ink. So how can you use these letter cards? And you can use them for really any theme. Oh, I also want to tell you, so I have these letter cards in my TBT store. It's kind of like these, but they're just with real photographs. So you can use these. and these the same way. So you can use these so many different ways. So the first way you can use is a dry erase marker. So they can trace the letter with the dry erase marker, and then they can erase. I just cut up a black shirt because it's a great little eraser, and then I can throw them all in the wash or just pitch them if they get super gross, and then find a new black shirt that I don't want anymore and just cut it up for a little eraser. So that's one way you can do it. You can also do it with tons of manipulatives. So here's the kind of like my manipulative tray I use for Facebook Lives. So basically you can use any manipulative. So you can make it seasonal. So if you are doing Halloween or Healthy Me, you can use little bone eraser or bone, and mini erasers are great too. These are just some table scatter from Michael's last year. I don't know if they have it again this year or not. And they basically, let me put it on the table because my bones are rolling everywhere. So they basically are just gonna put it in the letter and they are going to make it. Because the more exposure to letters they have, the more they're gonna be able to start picturing them in their brains. They're gonna start noticing the similarities and differences between all the letters. They're gonna start noticing which letters are in their name, which letters are not in their name. So they're just gonna, like, the more exposure they have, the more connections they're gonna make. So that way when they go to write, they will know how to make the letter. And like I always would have them say, after you finish your board, tell your friend what letter you have and what sound that letter makes. So I would say, oh, I did the letter U, umbrella. You can also have them say the picture Q too if you want. And if they don't know, then maybe they can ask a friend or ask a friend across from them, or they can ask me because I'm usually wandering around during table time. Or if you can also, again, use these for small group. So little seasonal little manipulatives are fun. Mini erasers are fun. I actually so this is what I have by my small group kind of materials. So I just have a bucket of just random mini erasers. So that way we can pull them out anytime. This is also a perfect bucket for when kids find random mini erasers. I just throw them in here. Like there's like a random pumpkin and all kinds of things in here. Just because we find them after we're done with one. And then that way I don't have to get out the bucket again. So it kind of saves me some cleanup. So they can make with mini erasers. And if you see, when they hold all these little treasures, look what they have to do. They have to use all of those little finger muscles. So they're also building those fine motor skills, so that way when they go to write, they are gonna have stronger fingers to write those letters with. And I know you guys think I have a ton of stuff. Somebody's like, I wish I had all the stuff you have. So I do wanna say, so I was always that teacher that bought all the things at the dollar store. So I started teaching about, oh gosh, what's 2021? So a while ago. So like 17 years ago I started teaching. So I've been going to the dollar store for 17 years, so that's why my collection is rather big. And now we have Amazon, so I use Amazon a lot too. So yeah, so just slowly build your collection of goodies and just go to the dollar store and slowly you'll build your collection. You can also use things from nature, like little rocks. Those are really fun, or little acorns, or if you go on a leaf hunt, take those leaves, have your kids cut the leaves up, and they can use little pieces of leaves to make all the little letters. Here, let me show you some of the other ones I got in here. And oh, and just so you know, a lot of my letter cards, X usually has 2 with it sometimes. So you can either do box or sometimes there's 2, just so you know. One of my other favorite ways to make letters are with bingo chips. And I got these forever ago from Walmart, but you can get them on Amazon anymore, or Amazon now, because I don't think Walmart has them anymore. So what you do is you make the letter. These are really fun for math games too. Bingo chips are fun for so many things. So they make the letter with the bingo chips, and then they would say it, L, lion. And then they use a magnet wand to clear the board, and that just makes it so engaging just to use these magnets to clear the board. I will say, if you are using magnets in your classroom, make sure none of your kiddos have any kind of pacemaker or anything like that, because if you have a kiddo with a pacemaker, which I had one year, don't use magnets, because that will affect their pacemaker and make it go crazy. So if you have a kiddo with a pacemaker, be careful and take all the magnets out, but there's tons of other engaging things you can do. You can also use things like cubes. So use math manipulatives you already have in your classroom and you can make all the letters. You can use things like a lot of craft supplies you can use. So little eyeballs would be really fun to use. Or if you have a whole bunch of little things like pom-poms are really fun. Just put a couple things out. So put some mini erasers out or put some eyeballs out. You can get these little dishes from the dollar store. I think it's in the fancy like party section of the dollar store. But these are great to kind of keep all your manipulatives in. Yeah, so perfect. So yeah, so these are a freebie on my blog. So make sure you guys go download these. And again, you can use them tons and tons and tons of ways. So now I'm gonna show you some, oh, and don't forget Play-Doh. You can always use these mats with Play-Doh. I forgot about Play-Doh. Okay, so another fun thing you can do is write letters on a variety of surfaces. So this is actually a homemade chalkboard I made with, again, the fancy dollar store trays. So they can make the letters with chalk, and then they erase them with the tissue. They can like rainbow write them. And rainbow write just means writing the letter with a whole bunch of colors. And it kind of creates a rainbow effect. So they're just tracing over and over and over again. And you can do one letter, you can do their name, they can do sight words, all the things. But you can write on chalkboards, dry erase boards. If you get some foil, you can use dry erase markers on foil, and then that'll erase. Mirrors are really fun to write on, dry erase packets. So you can also change up the surfaces too of your writing spot, writing things, I guess. You can also kind of make it into an art activity. And these you can do in your fine motor journals, and I'll show you a couple examples of those. So what you can do is either you or the child write a letter, and you can do the first letter in their name. Maybe it's a letter they're working on. Maybe you're all gonna do the same letter because you've observed that all the kiddos are struggling with a certain letter. And then you just give them, so you write it or they write it, and then you just give them just a sheet of stickers, and then they fill it in. Now, my trick with stickers, and if you guys follow me, you know my trick. So, if your kiddos are like, oh my gosh, I can't get these stickers off, or it's super frustrating for them, what you're gonna do, it's sticking to me, is make it easier for them to do the activity, right? Just make a little modification. So you're gonna pull off the sticker back. And yeah, a couple stickers will come off sometimes, but most of the time they won't. Or if all of them are sticking, just get a different set of stickers. Give those stickers where the back is sticking to a kiddo who has stronger fine motor muscles. But look, there's no back. And then you just throw this away. And then now they can peel off the sticker so much easier, and they can put it on their letter. Now this little lady, or man, little guy, I can't remember who did this one. Oh, it's probably actually my little guy, because it's A for Austin, because he was in my class. And I kept a lot of his work, and I used a lot of his stuff for my Facebook Lives. This one is probably like a pre-K kiddo who has strong fine motor muscles. Some kiddos, when you're doing sticker collages, they are not gonna be able to cover that whole line, and you guys, that's okay. Like, just do the activity to a point where they are not frustrated and they are successful. So if you see their fingers are getting a little tired or they're getting a little frustrated, say, oh my gosh, I love all those stickers. Do you wanna finish this tomorrow? Or do you wanna just keep it like this? And they'll probably go, I just wanna keep it like this. Or maybe they'll wanna do it more later when their hand has more time to rest and they are re-energized. But just know that this is hard for little guys or kiddos with weak fine motor. And I know after COVID, a lot of our kiddos are finding we're having like lots of weak fine motor. And this is my bag of stickers. So I'm gonna show you my stickers, how I organize them. Just as a fun little thing tonight. So I keep my stickers in one of these like book bins now. So I keep all of my stickers right here. And I bought like, I think it was like 2 giant packs of these off Amazon. And I use those, and then I have like dot stickers, and then like random letter stickers. A lot of these, Target, Dollar Spot. And then any like random sticker books I get, or Kinder Crate, sometimes we get stickers in those. I throw those in here. And then these are my big dot stickers. And then a lot of times families, or I would, my own kiddos don't use stickers anymore. So I kind of have just a big like hodgepodge thing of stickers. So I kind of keep those at the back. So that's kind of how my stickers are organized. So, because if you ask too, it's like, hey, if anybody has any stickers lying around their house, can you donate them to our classroom? Some families will be like, oh my gosh, great, I can clean stuff out, and they will totally donate stuff to you. So don't ever be afraid to ask for things like stickers or like, you know, toilet paper tubes or whatever it is. Well, oh, don't use toilet paper tubes, sorry, paper towel tubes. So you can do stickers. You can also do like foam stickers. Here's another A for Austin. You can do tape. So this is like washi tape, but you can also use like painter's tape, and they just have to cut it. And again, all of these things are great fine motor, and you're also building letters. Here's another one, kind of taken a step further. So they glue the little letter cubes on, and then they can write the letter around the edge. So you're kind of taking it one step further, because before they were just making the letter, or they were just making the letter and then using up some extra stickers. Now you're gonna have them make the letter and then, or make the collage letter and then write it on the edge. And what I do is I keep these little, these are probably like food containers. I need to refill this one. Of just like different collage things. Like these are just some tissue paper I cut up, squares. I literally took like a thick thing of tissue paper and I just cut like random strips. They're not all the same, so it's fine. And then this one's just these like little strips cut up. And I usually, if I have a whole bunch, like if I'm cutting out something and prepping something and I have a whole bunch of strips, I'll just take these and cut them up smaller, and then I'll keep them for activities. Here's a tissue paper one, and you can also do this with sight words. So this was the sight word in, and then they can make it all around. So that's another fun activity. This is an ABC book we made one year. You can tell all the gorgeous collage. I had a friend offer to decorate the cover for us. So I just went into PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. I think this was a while ago, so this is probably Microsoft Word. I just put one letter on each page really big, and each kiddo got to pick a letter, and then they just collaged the letter, and we had a fun ABC book in our classroom, and they got to pick how they wanted to collage it or decorate their letter. And then we had a fun book, ABC book for our classroom. And we all know that when there are kid-made books in our classroom, it shows them that they're authors and they're illustrators, and that all of their work is very important to us and we value it. So it's going to build that classroom community and build their confidence, and now you have a cool book for your classroom. So perfect. And like I said, you can do a lot of those art or collage letter activities in their fine motor journals. Here's a fine motor journal of a little lady, and here's like a J she did. She was a pre-K friend. She had pretty strong fine motor. I had her for 2 years. So. And then here's a J she did. She rainbow wrote the J. It's backwards for you guys on Facebook Live tonight. Why? I don't know. And then she wrote the J along the edge. Sorry, I was trying to read a comment. So somebody said they took a whole bunch of tissue paper squares and they stuck together. So I actually don't buy the tissue paper, the actual squares anymore, from like the dollar store or wherever, because they do the sides stick together. I literally buy like the big like dollar thing with like in the gift wrap section, and then I cut that into strips, and then I cut it into little squares or little square / rectangles. So yeah, so you can do all of that. And then don't forget about different writing tools you can use. So I actually, in my cabinet, right next to all of my collage bowls, I keep little crayons and highlighters and fun pens. These are just some like glitter ones. I think the dollar store right now has a whole bunch of fun little crayons. They have like neon or I don't know, whatever. These are glitter, metallic. But then they can just using a different kind of crayon is still super exciting for them. So the second semester, usually starting in January, after we've done kind of these things, we do we work on a page in their letter book a day. I actually get out the little lakeshore sound tub, and we talk about the letter sound and and then we make the letter, and then we make the uppercase and lowercase, and we really start working on like the actual like proper formation. I mean, we do at this point too, but it's really more focused, and we all do the same letter at this time. And it's not for letter of the week, we just do 1 page a day until the letters are done. And then we try and do it different each day. This is in my TPT store, by the way. I don't know how much it is, I can't remember. But like one day we did colored pencil rainbow writing, and then another day we did finger painting, and then dot marker, collage. This is just cut up ribbon. Looks like glitter crayons and polymetallic crayons, and this is that tissue paper squares that I make. This looks like a highlighter and Q-tip painting. We made a pattern that day. This is glue with glitter. If you're daring, if you're not, it's okay. I just love glitter. We just rainbow write with markers, or you can let them. We did torn paper, chalk, yarn, markers. That looks like, I don't know what, this is some kind of paint. And then we did straws. You can also ask them how they want to make. We're gonna make letters today, or we're gonna make letters tomorrow. If you see a kid that's not like super engaged, say, you know what? I need some help. Like, we're gonna make a letter collage tomorrow. Is there any fun way you can think of we can make letters? What would you like to make a letter with? And ask them, because sometimes they have really fun ideas, and well, a lot of times, honestly, they have fun ideas. And their letters or their ideas are so exciting, because then they're excited, then they're gonna get their friends excited, and your engagement level is just gonna be through the roof, because I can be like, okay, today we're gonna make a letter collage we're gonna make letters with bones, because Ben was so excited about skeletons. I thought we should get out some bones and we can make like skeleton letters. I mean, you can do whatever you want. But just getting that buy-in sometimes from kiddos and getting them excited and engaged is huge, right? Because if they're excited, then they're going to retain more of the activity as well. Okay, and thank you for dropping all the links in there too. I know, like I said, these are the letter mats that are real photographs. I released them this summer, and I'm going to be honest with you. I was only going to have them free for a day, and I totally forgot to make them like priced or like I think they're gonna be like $3. So what I want you to do is if you don't have this, go download it tonight in my TPT store, because it's gonna actually be not free starting tomorrow, because I forgot. So what it is, it's a letter mat book. And I love this one because it's all real photos. And if you don't have a color printer, when you go to print, just click. There should be a little selection that says print in grayscale, and you can print these. You can still use the real photographs, but it'll be all in grayscale. So what you can do is make the letter, and I have them on book rings, but when we did these, I would take them off the book ring, and I would just lay one out at each seat, and then I would have extras like on one side or in the middle or something, so that way they could make their letter, and then they could trace it in the middle or trace the word at the bottom, and I would have little manipulatives out so they could make the letter with the manipulatives on here, and then they could trace the word at the bottom with the dry erase marker, or they could make it with the manipulatives and then trace it, and then they can get a new letter. And again, always ask them or encourage them to say, now when you're finished, tell your friend your letter and the sound it makes. That way we're kind of getting them talking about letters. But once you start doing these letter activities or letter building activities, they're gonna naturally start noticing the letters, like, oh, that's A, that's in my name, or oh, M is for M is mom, and Maddie, or whatever. And they're gonna be like, oh, look, this letter has all straight lines. You're just gonna start noticing all of those things, because the letters in our alphabet, there's so many. If you look at all the uppercase and all the lowercase, and they're so similar, like B, like lowercase b, lowercase d, and A. Like that takes a lot of visual discrimination to notice that A doesn't have this little piece at the top, but D and B have the piece at the top, and Q has the piece at the bottom, and P has the piece at the bottom, but it's flipped. So it takes a lot of visual discrimination to notice and learn all the letters and sounds, but once they know it, then you are good to go. So this is a really fun one. I love these real photograph ones that I made. And you guys, somebody suggested doing these, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love that idea. They're like, you should make letter mats with real photographs. And I was like, oh, totally adding that to my to-do list. And then I made it for you guys. So whoever, or there was actually many people that gave me that suggestion, so thanks. And also in my TBT store, if you don't want the real photographs, I also have a letter mat version with clip art. And then there's just the letter at the bottom. And then this set actually does come in black and white, so you can just print it on colored paper, so you can save ink that way. And again, these mats are kind of like endless on how you can use them. Now, I want to show you another, look at the time, another way that you can do or organize your letters. So I have a ton of letter mats in my store. Like I have letter mats for Play-Doh and Legos and pattern blocks and Geoboards. So somebody in the Pocket of Preschool Facebook group, and if you're not in the Facebook group, you totally need to join us because it's so fun and the teachers are absolutely amazing in there. What they did was, this is actually my stem drawer, but I'm going to show you what they did with it. So they had all of, pretend like the cups and straws one isn't on here though. Okay, so I'll put those on my leg. So they took all of their manipulatives, they made it into a letter building tower. So in this popsicle stick one, and these pull out super straight, just pretend like the cubes aren't in there. They put these stick letter mats inside. So I can't remember if she had them on a ring or not, but the letter stick mats, they come with the uppercase set and then a lowercase set. And again, they do also come in black and white. So that way you can print them off without wasting a whole bunch of ink. And that way the kiddos could make the letter with the popsicle sticks. If you have little builders, they love making the letters with the popsicle sticks. And I think she had some dry erase markers in each one, and so they could trace it, because a lot of these you trace on the letter mat. So they're building it and then they're writing it. So it's kind of like making handwriting fun, right? They're building and then they're writing, and there's also a sound, initial sound cue on there. So again, all of these, she just made into a huge letter building cart. And all of my letter mats also come in number mats. So maybe you could also put the number mats in some of them. So those are the stick ones. I'm going to show you the Lego ones. And again, these drawers are from Michael's. They're expensive. I want to say this thing's like $80. But wait and use a coupon, and you can use your coupon and then use your teacher discount code, and then wait till it's on sale. And then they're great. But you can also use little Legos. These are great for the little Lego set. Comes in black and white and in color. This is just the black and whites that I have printed off. And here's the little A. These are from the dollar store, and you can totally use the dollar store little Legos for these. It would totally work. And they can also actually make it the letter right on the mat. So, like, this is tricky. This would be like a pre-K or kindergarten skill. All of my letter mats are also made, I can't pull that off. Apparently my fingers are a little bit weak today. So they can also make it directly on the mat. So that way, if you don't have these, or if you have little guys, especially like 3s, they can just match on the mat. They don't have to make it to the side. And then the so that's the Legos. And again, she just has the cards right inside, so they can grab what they want and go there. And then here, pattern block mats. You can also, if you don't want to laminate your letter mats, you can also put them in page protectors and put them on a book ring. So they would just grab that, and then they would make the letter, what letter is this? Backwards. B, ball, B. And then they could make the letter with the pattern blocks, which are in the bottom, and then they can trace it. And there is a uppercase set and a lowercase set. And again, these come in color and in black and white. So if you have a friend or a kiddo in your classroom who is not excited or just sad, or maybe they're missing mom or dad or grandma, grandpa, whoever, ask them, say, you know what is your favorite, come over to the shelf and show me your favorite thing. And they can show you their favorite thing. Maybe they love Geoboards. So you can say, oh, you love Geoboards? How about tomorrow for table time, I'm gonna have you be our Geoboard expert and you can help friends make letters. Where's the A? You can help them make the letters on the Geoboard. So that's kind of another fun way to get kiddos that are sad in the morning coming in, get them kind of like being a helper, and then they can help their friends. Again, they can trace, there's letter Q and then the word, and then these actually have an uppercase and a lowercase because it's always fun, or one letter only fits on it. So that's why they're separate. And maybe you teach, maybe it's the beginning of the year and your kiddos don't really know any letters, so you're gonna work on the uppercase first because the uppercase is the most in environmental print, so they're gonna learn those the quickest, and then you can go back and review the lowercase, or you can do both at the same time. You can kind of do whatever. But you can kind of do this the same, so you could put these on like a book ring, and you can put this on your math shelf, so that way maybe they just wanna play during centers with the Geoboards, but then these are also in there as an option. Because for me, I do free center. So during that hour of center time, the kiddos pick. For my center time, they get to pick what center they want to play in, and it's an hour, and they get to pick what they want to play. So if they want to play with Geoboards, and it's on the shelf, then they get these out, and then they play with the Geoboards. So I like having things kind of inside of like letter mat, or whether it be a shape mat or a number mat, something to go with each manipulative, so that way there is like a learning opportunity in there if they want it. If they don't want it, that's okay too, but it's in there, because if you don't put it in there, then they're never gonna have the opportunity to do it, right? So you want to kind of sneak in as much like little letter mats or number mats or shape mats. My shapes have a lot of manipulative mats in them as well. So yeah, so just literally you can just sneak this on your shelf. So that's another way to do it. You can totally do that if you have cubes in your centers. I have cube letter mats. Here's the H. And again, they can totally just make it on top. So they can literally just put the cubes on top of it. Or if they want more of a challenge, they can actually build the letter next to it or on top of it, and then they can put it together for kind of some of that fun STEM challenge in there. And again, when they're using these little cubes or the pattern blocks or the Legos or the Geoboards, they're also building and strengthening all of these fine motor muscles. So you're getting 2 skills at one time. And they can write it, so you're sneaking in some handwriting too. Because handwriting doesn't have to be boring. It doesn't have to be paper pencil. Now I will say all of my letter mats do have a worksheet included with them. So if you do want that accountability piece, or if you do want them to just kind of be exposed to worksheets, you can have that, but you totally don't have to do that if you don't want to, because again, there is that usually the tracing piece on there. So you can put the cubes, they could be in your center, and you can just have these kind of on the side, and that way they're there if they want to play with them. If not, that's okay too. But again, put them out for table time, for a small group, and then they will be using those letter mats. Okay. What else? Oh, I also have Play-Doh letter mats, because Play-Doh is so fun. Just wanted to show you those. Again, they just roll the snake, and then they make the letter with the Play-Doh. And Play-Doh is so much fun, and it's relaxing. So if you kids come inside from recess, or maybe they're just like super wound up, maybe it was Halloween the night before, or who knows, maybe you had a fire drill and the fire truck was there, come in and you want to do something a little bit where that's kind of soothing, pull out these Play-Doh letter mats, and the Play-Doh will kind of help them kind of work out and help them calm down, because you're giving them some sensory input. And so then they'll work on some sensory, get some fine motor, and they're learning all about letters at the same time. So these again, the dough mats come in color and in black and white. Another fun one And this one, I think last year was my kiddo's favorite. So these are like a hammer or golf tee letter set. So you can either use like a thick piece of cardboard, like if you get furniture, but if you haven't had any furniture delivered lately, you can either, you can use, these are like those kneeling boards, like from the garden section. So what they're gonna do, and I just use some tape to stick it on there, they're gonna use some golf tees. And you can either buy like little wooden mallets. I think these are for like seafood or something. I don't know. I just bought them off Amazon. Or if you have plastic hammers, which mine, I'm gonna be honest, plastic hammers never lasted very long in my classroom because I bet they lasted, what, like 3 months and they would break. But it's just what happens. So you can either use plastic little hammers or you can get some little wooden mallets and they have to hold the golf tee and they have to hammer it in. And look at this. They're getting some grip strength. When they're hammering, they're using their upper arm and then they're having to hold on to the golf tee with their pincer muscle. So lots and lots of fine motor. And then look, it's stuck. And then what do they have to do when they're done? They have to pull them all out, right? And put them back in. The golf tees, I just got at Amazon or probably Target. I can't remember. I've had them for forever. So yeah, and then if your kiddos love Q-tip painting, you can also use these same letter mats and they can Q-tip paint all of the letters. So you can kind of use these little dotted, they're like the tiny dotted letter mats any way you want, which is really fun. But hammers are so much fun. You're totally gonna, if you have these out and for table time, they're just gonna be hammering away, like building all those fine motor muscles, talking about all those letters. So yeah, so fun. Or you can use a thick cardboard. I got a whole bunch of this thick cardboard when I bought all my shelving, like my cube shelving behind me. A lot of the IKEA furniture used to come in it. I don't know if it does anymore or not. That's where I got a lot of mine from. And of course I saved it because I'm a teacher and we save all of the ridiculous things and keep stacks of cardboard in our closets, right? It's okay. It's for a good purpose. So, oh, I forgot to tell you. So how I organize a lot of my letter mats, you saw me probably like pulling all the things off. So these are actually like, I think they're book boxes. So I keep the ones that aren't like on the shelf or somewhere in the classroom. I keep them in the book boxes and they're kind of by my small group area so I can pull them out super quick and they're super quick to put away. I have 2 of them with letters and I have 2 of them with number mats in them. So yeah, super easy. I either keep them, you can see, on a book ring or I have them in a baggie. Oh, here's the dot ones. These are the big dot ones. You can use those with any manipulative or you can actually use bingo dabbers, like these bingo dabbers, and use them as a worksheet. Okay. And then the last, I have 2, 3, 4 more ideas. Because I can just keep going for forever, you guys. I really can. So one of my new packs that you guys have suggested are letter cards. So I'm going to use, so that are these. The seasonal ones are out. I'm working on the holiday ones this week. But if you don't have the seasonal letter cards, on my blog, and I'll put that link later, you can totally just use any letter flashcards you have with these 2. But you can use, so writing trays are really fun. I actually have I have an hour-long Facebook Live on writing trays. So if you want to try writing trays in your classroom, click on that Facebook Live link when we're done. And I have a blog post coming soon too, but my kiddo's been sick, so a lot of the things on the September to-do list didn't get done. That's okay. He's getting better, and that's all that matters. I will get to it eventually. But we can do, this is just one of those kid plates, and they can pick a letter card, and then they can make the letter, and it's sensory, it's fun, you can hear it, kind of like crickles. But yeah, so you can either you can dye salt, and I have a whole tutorial on my blog on how to dye salt. It's just with liquid watercolor. It's super simple. This one I added some little fall sprinkles in. You can also add in like a little manipulative, and they can write it with the little manipulative. Oh, don't forget, acorns have bugs in them. Use fake acorns in your classroom. Just don't forget. And then they just have the letter cards here, and then they can flip them, pick them. So much fun. So you can also do letter cards to practice handwriting and writing letters. And then you can also build them. So we built them on the letter mats, right? I showed you all the letter mats they can build on. This is actually just a say it, make it board. You can, again, you can just take a piece of paper, draw a line down the middle, and you have your own say it, make it board. And then what I did was I just grabbed some letter cards. These are just Apple ones. These are in that seasonal letter cards pack. But again, you don't have to have the seasonal letter cards. You can use any letter cards. Maybe you have letter cards from one of my literacy packs. You can use those. So they say it. I can't read upside down. I, if, and then they use any manipulative. So any fun little trinket you have, they can use any of them. And then they can make the letter with that manipulative. So it's kind of like a letter mat, but there's nothing to trace. They're using the letter card to then make the letter. So that's another fun idea. So you can just make it with a manipulative rather than having an actual letter board. You can also stick, I spilled something. I know you guys are surprised. I'm just kidding, I'm a klutz. I spill all the things during Facebook Live. You can also get a little tub. These are, Lakeshore has these, or like sometimes during back to school, the Dollar Tree or Target Dollar Spot has them. This is just some colored rice with like a fall theme. I just threw them in there. I'm throwing rice. And then you can plop some letter cards in there. And this is in that mat. So they spin it, and then they pick the letter J, and they would have to write it with that writing tool. Now, maybe you don't want to use the spinner. Maybe pretend this has a pumpkin on it. Maybe you just want them to write the letter. So they have to find a letter. And look at this. How much fun is this? Finding a letter in the sensory tray. So much more fun than doing just a boring old worksheet. Find the letter H. And they have to find it. And then they have to write it. You can do uppercase with uppercase. You can have them do lowercase with lowercase. Whatever you want to do. You can also use like a read, build, write sheet. So they would have to pick the letter H. They would have to build it like with Play-Doh. And then they could write it at the bottom with a dry erase marker. So you're getting a letter identification, you're getting fine motor in, and you're getting handwriting in. So tons and tons of things. And all of these things are in my letter cards bundle, which again, the holiday ones are coming soon. It was another thing that was on the list this month. But the season one has tons of letter cards for each season. Rainbows, leaves, pumpkins. And then there's all the worksheets to go with each one. There's birds and watermelons. I just keep them all in a bag. You can organize them however you want. And then there's uppercase and lowercase. Yeah. So I hope you guys got some ideas on how you can make letter building fun in your classroom. Again, at the top of this post is a link to these free cards. Do something fun this week to make letters. Do something fun every day to make letters. It doesn't have to be boring. We don't have to do boring handwriting sheets. You can still throw some in there, but try and make it fun. Try and make it hands-on. Build those fine motor muscles, because our kiddos are coming in every year weaker and weaker, and it's our jobs to make them super strong, right? So have fun, make all the letters, tag me in all the posts, tag me on Instagram, tag me on TikTok, whatever you're doing. I want to see, put it in the Facebook group, because I know when you guys are excited, it can spark somebody else's excitement and make their day. And I know it makes my day when you guys send me all this stuff. But it could spark someone else's like idea for them. So yeah, so just sharing is caring, and just share all the things and your ideas in the Facebook group, because that group is on fire. The letter cart idea from the Facebook group. So I hope you guys have an awesome night. I will talk to you soon. Bye.